What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Believelandia, post Wrestlemania edition. I am Jim Myers. Ah, so here we are after the shit cloud storm of Wrestlemania. Uh, uh this is not going to be a long-winded video, just to because I am very sorry. I am very burnt out from wrestling and all that it entails. Got so got so goddamn excited about. Well, I guess I shouldn't say I got excited. Oh, what's the right word? I suppose. Uh, I don't know. I got obviously I got thoughts. That's why we're here. Uh, I didn't get hooked. I'm not gonna say that. I had a low bar going in because of the I mentioned on the preview that I wasn't too excited. I was excited for WrestleMania. I wasn't excited for really anything. Not even, you know, Cody and Cena or Punk, Rollins and Reigns. I had my issues with a lot of things, and like a fucking goober, I for WrestleMania, I like to park all my critiques or things that they could have done better and didn't. And I don't know. I just I don't know. I don't know how to express. I mean, I'm disappointed first and foremost. I mean, I'll get in. They kind of course corrected on some things, not so much on others. Um, trying to trying to manipulate my mic here to stop sounding like I'm in a hallway. I got I got some thoughts, and it I've been posting it everywhere on social media, especially after night one. Yeah, it's more like Wrestle-MEH-nia to me. Uh, we're just gonna go over the matches, and I'm not gonna break it. I'm not breaking it all down. You yourself have probably watched hundreds or a two like me. I have myself. I've watched podcast and podcast after podcast that have broken every match down, that have you know you know all that bullshit. I'm just here. I'm here as a fan. I'm not as an analyst or a critique or finishing these spots and this way and that way. I just say it, night all the way up until the main event. And maybe not even, yeah, the main event was great. Up until the main event, night one, fucking was was not WrestleMania. It was Wrestle-MEH-nia, and that was, yeah, that's becoming a very bad habit. Other than 39, 38, 39, 39, when they first started going to two nights. Um, get this the hell out of the way. Sorry. So I can talk to you. Let me talk to you. Um, I don't know. I just, I just got, I was let down. I'm just gonna say that I was let down as a fan. Also, before we really get into it, please subscribe, like, follow all the socials. Facebook. I was on it on Facebook. I was I it wasn't like a watch along or a follow along type of thing, but I had a pretty good presence on Facebook. Um, Especially Sunday night. I was between the Cavs' first playoff game, which I know you didn't come here for that, but this is Believelandia. Um, so I had the Cavs on my computer and then Wrestlemania on the television. So, and then I was going back and forth most of the night from uh, on the computer to Facebook, back and forth, all that stuff, because basketball is becoming a fucking slog itself anymore. No matter what, college, pro, doesn't matter. Timeouts, timeouts, foul shots, reviews, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. And which, yeah, okay. Subscribe, like, hit that like button. Subscribing does a lot. Liking does a lot. Viewing does a lot. So, and I'm really trying to cut these things shorter and shorter because I know. I I know. I would love to speed run these things and and do it in like a half hour, but that's just that's just not how who I am right now. But we're learning. So yeah, Facebook. I had it going on Facebook, and then I got a lot of people that you know chimed in, and it was good. It was good. It's good to see. Like, I know I haven't been very consistent on Facebook, so maybe that's where a lot of my wrestling opinions might reside as well. So yeah, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Threads. I try. Threads and Blue Sky. I try. I tried to, you know, I know. I have three metas and then Blue Sky, and don't again, don't don't talk to me about X. Not happening. Not happening. There's 1,000 social media. Like the four right there that I have are good enough. There's no there's no difference other than the toxic waste dump that gets thrown at you. I get it. Like Facebook is more, for advertising and all that shit. Well, so is everything else. Newsflash, everybody. If you don't have the premium tier on Peacock, which I don't, I smartly took like the deal because I got off of Peacock and then they beg you to come back, and then they say, "Hey, come back for $2 a month." Worth it, especially when I watch fucking Wrestlemania, and I got more advertising and time, commercial breaks. I didn't see any of the video packages or the promos for any of the matches, which is fine. I already know all the bullshit going into them, but you know, one of the things that would have been nice that was very, very much missing, I think even the last WrestleMania and the one before too, was, cutting to the backstage area to interview whoever for their upcoming match. And then they talk about going into the match, how they're feeling, what's going to happen, things like that. I miss that. And Mean Gene or somebody saying, let's throw it back to ringside. Sorry, I got all choked up. So I don't appreciate it. I just don't. I don't. And then everything. Like even when they even when they go back to the match, you got Michael Cole cutting adverts, live reads for Snickers or in whatever the goddamn match. Each match had its own sponsorship, which I was saying like quite a few years ago, because that's the way it was headed, that it'd be kind of cooler if we could stop, because that was back in the Vince days still, where everything was formulated and everything had, every TV match had a template. And, a guy gets thrown to the outside, commercial break. That's the cue for the commercial break. You get every single time. And you get the first minute or so of the match, and then they go to a commercial break for like 5 fucking minutes. And then you come back for the last 2 minutes of the match. This felt like that without the commercials in between. And I've always said, like, it'd be great, like, if, like, the main event on Monday Night Raw would have its own sponsor, because then the sponsorship dollars make up for the cost of the commercial break or whatever. Apparently, they heard that kind of idea, but then they just said, we'll do both. Fuck. I saw somewhere that they had the times, like total match time compared to like all time in between. And I believe it was like an hour and 40 some minutes for total match. I think this was night 1 or 2. I don't know. I paid attention to it, but obviously I'm an idiot and didn't make a note of it. But it was like an hour and 40 some minutes, and then like the wait time, like all the commercial time and all the filler time in between all the matches was like 2 hours and like 13 minutes. So we got more bullshit, which I mean, cool. That's expected for WrestleMania, right? But at the expense of matches, though, like, and I had felt like a lot of the matches, if not, well, not all of them, but like the ones that were just were, like the Damian Priest match and Drew McIntyre. We'll get into it, but I don't have the match times or whatever. I'm not breaking it all down. This is just what is fucking irked me the whole time, both nights. Matches felt rushed, especially the finishes. Even the good matches, the really good matches, felt like they just felt rushed. The finishes, especially, I believe, one of the women's matches. I want to say not the triple threat, not the women's world, the Rhea, Io, and Bianca match. Damn, Naomi and Jade. Well, you know what? Fuck it. We'll get into it there when we come across it. But it was, I was underwhelmed, very underwhelmed. And then I'll get to the Rock stuff. Holy fucking shit. Everybody, I even wrote early, when I first started Believelandia and just the website, I even wrote about Elimination Chamber and the Rock and Cena alliance, how that was going to be it was a generational heel turn. And this could be the start of something awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fucking dummy. As wrestlers would say, you are a mark. Yes, we are all marks. If you want to get all technical, but whatever. I'm not a cool wrestler. Not a cool pro wrestler. Like, you know, guys that fucking never mind. I have between AEW, which was on tonight, I didn't even bother to watch. Master P showed up. Everybody, that'd been cool if you were WCW in 1996 or 7. God, I don't know, guys. Let's just go through these matches real quick, and then I'll just give my thoughts. I had a whole thing, like, you know, I don't know. I'm just so fucking let down, and I don't know why. It's WWE. It was you could have saw it coming, really, with Triple H and the attitude he had on a lot anywhere that he was going to talk. It was just basically, fuck. He, basically fuck the fans. Like, he just didn't know why you couldn't just sit there and eat your shit sandwich and enjoy it because it was from them. That's it. And a lot of goddamn, if you pay attention, a lot of wrestlers feel that way. I don't know, for an industry that relies on fans, they do a lot of fucking shit talking to their audience. And some of them deserve it, right? I mean, there's a lot of fucking weirdos that like watch wrestling, and they get weird. And I understand that, but like, not all fans are like that. You know, there's there's a lot of things that wrestling does for people, myself included, that have, you know, people find their escape from it for it, you know, just like sports. But, you know, this combines, I mean, it's the reason why it combines sports and storytelling, and I'm a geek. So, you know, I'm into Marvel, I'm into Star Wars, things like that. I enjoy storytelling. I enjoy outside worlds. I enjoy different universes to get more hippy dippy on you. Um, I I just and as a kid and growing up, wrestling has always been a very good escape. And I get and now as I'm older, I understand storytelling a little more. I understand, you know, wrestling more. And it doesn't take away from it. You know, sure, I can sit here and say, "Oh, that guy fucked up. That was a fucked up spot." You know, I don't think that was supposed to go the way it was, but that's always been the allure of wrestling. Can't it you know, as a kid, you get lost in it, right? With all the characters and the storylines and this and that. And as you grow older and you start to understand it more, hey, spoiler alert, everybody, it's not real. Yeah. But if you pay attention to the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball, that shit's becoming a lot like it without being scripted. Sometimes the people at certain commissioners or, you know, owners in the league that have a certain kind of persuasion, or, you know, look at the Rams. They built they not only built a brand new stadium, like a couple $1 billion stadium. They made a whole complex that had Fox Sports Studios, NFL Network Studios. Nobody talks about that, but they opened up all this for the NFL and their partners and whatnot. Not a coincidence, and you can fuck off. You watch that Super Bowl between the Bengals and the Rams, and where, you know, it's not just the Chiefs. The Rams were handed that fucking thing down the stretch. Smarten up, everybody. It's stuff's becoming more and more like if they can help it. I even called this shit before the first Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl. I said, down the stretch, if it goes to the fourth quarter and it's a close game, referees will hand it to the Chiefs. And what happened? What happened? Comment below. Tell me. What happened? All right, this is not this is not the sports episode. I'm sorry. I'm really, this is where I'm going with all this. I'm really kind of getting fucking jaded in sports and wrestling and everything. Man, the pettiness between AEW and WWE, and then here's the thing: AEW walked into becoming a company, understanding how petty WWE could be. Look at WCW. Look at all the bullshit that they pulled. Vince McMahon he funded ECW when it was on the brink of collapse. And then he bought it. And then he stole every idea, all the hardcore shit. They were changing to the Attitude Era. But you guys pay attention. They started integrating like ECW stuff back in 95 or 6. And then that's how they gauge, their audience. I don't know. I'm going all over the fucking place, and we're all in here for a half hour. All right. You know what? Fuck it. You guys don't want to hear that. So I'm not going down that road. If we want to, we can. Comment below. But you got to subscribe first. You make this deal with me. If you want to tell me that and the kind of content that you want from me, we'll get into, pick a subject. I would love to hear it. I'm just getting on here and bitching pretty much about for this particular way, WrestleMania and wrestling in general. So yeah. So like I was saying, Triple H probably set it all up for everybody by saying, basically fuck the fans and all that shit. So that was the beginning of the dial of kind of turning it down. Right? And then I kind of dismissed it because Triple H has always really talked like that every time he gets a chance. And I get it, He's the creative guy behind it. And when people shit on what you do, in some senses, not all of it. But, you also have to have, like, thick skin, And then for the most part, he corrects when, he pays attention. So he's able to take stuff and correct it. And everybody's happy. Like all this Cody shit, they have made him one of the top guys. Is it going to be a Cena? Maybe not. But, he's a well-respected guy. And Cody has been instrumental in bringing in like Jade Cargill, Ricky Starks, now Saint, Ethan Page, all those AEW connections. Those are Cody guys. And he's instrumental for all those guys coming back or coming in. It is what it is. So, fuck it. Let's just get on. We're a half hour in, and this is way more time than what this fucking show deserves. So, I'm just going to get into it, and then maybe at the end especially at the end, I might get into it more. So, yeah, underwhelming, but let's go. Let's just get into it. First one. All right. Yep. There we go. Jey Uso, Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship. Uso wins. Shocker. I think everybody and their mother that doesn't even know anything about wrestling probably predicted that. I don't think as many people are pissed as what's being thrown out there. Pretty dull match. The ending. I said in the preview video that the cool way to do this would be like how they did Sami Zayn and Gunther when Sami Zayn beat Gunther. You know, beat the shit out of him, beat the shit out of him, beat the shit out of him. Boom. Flash, all of a sudden out of nowhere, finisher comes from Sammy. It's over. Exciting win. The underdog, took the ass kicking and then overcome and boom. That's how it should have went. Instead, we got Jey Uso tapping out Gunther with Gunther's own sleeper hold. Which to me, I hate the sleeper hold as a finisher. I like how they apply the finisher and make it seem like a MMA type of sleeper. That was not the case with Jey Uso. That was probably one of the coziest, unselling sleepers I might have ever seen out of anybody. And then, how does a wrestler like Gunther not find a way out because it's his own fucking finisher? You would know how to get out of your own finisher. Just like Bret Hart tapping out to the fucking sharpshooter without some fucking shenanigans happening. You wanted to feel good for Jey Uso. I didn't even get it. Then the Raw after Mania were yeeting for 20 minutes. They dedicated a 20-minute segment, which had a cool, very, very cool video package for him about the road getting there. That's cool. That's what WWE does. Better than anybody, maybe ever. You wanted to feel good for the guy, and I just didn't. I'll say it. Jey Uso is just not a believable world champion. Like he has all the charisma. He has, the problem with him is his inconsistency about his character. And I don't want to say he comes off as he doesn't care, because he very much cares. It's like, I don't know. Like even when he came out for his entrance for this match, he looked tight. He looked like I better not fuck all this up. Like the pressure was just too much for him. And I think the belt being the world champion is going to be, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. I'm sorry. I'm done trying to play the nice, let's see how it plays out, or he deserves it, so let's see what happens and all that. I'm not buying it anymore, and I'm done. I've so fucking had it with wrestling anymore. Like I don't know who they think that their audience is, or their people. I'm sure there are a lot of dumb people that just eat this fucking shit up, no matter what. But goddamn, man, I feel bad because I really want Jey Uso to work. Like he's like like I've said before, his entrance is it turns into a fucking house party. Who has house parties anymore like that? Not that I've ever been to one lately like that, but like I've been to a few in my day. Yes, and when everybody is singing, and I mean, everybody's singing the same song and like not yeeting. No, people have yet to fucking tell me what yeeting means. Even the younger guys, younger kids in my household have not fucking said, you know, they have said yeet, and I go, what is that supposed to mean? I don't know. It's just cool. Cool. Can't you just say cool? Oh no, yeah. No, that's ancient language or whatever. Is yeet a language? Is that even fucking English? Even if it isn't English, is it a word in any language? I'm going see yep. All right. Match sucked. Gunther looks like an idiot. Yeah, choking out Pat McAfee in that angle with Cole, being all pissed off. Kind of made yeah. Well, I mean, the shit choking out Pat McAfee and watching his doofus crew climb all over or try to climb all over security. Yeah, if security was so concerned about things turning real violent, maybe they should have got Gunther off of Pat McAfee. Ah, but then that's not how the segment was written. So, but yeah, I mean, to me, Gunther just doesn't look like the monster anymore, though. And I know he can he can overcome that, right? He can overcome it, and he'll get back on track. But it's gonna take a minute. It might even take like a babyface turn. What does a what does a babyface Gunther look like though? Like does he? I don't. I don't like that. Now that I said that out loud, I'm sorry. All right, moving on. Moving on to shit that should last less than less time than the match. I thought this was going to be so much better than what it was. I feel so bad. We're all involved, really. Like, how the fuck do we not have? How do we have this match at WrestleMania, and Big E doesn't get involved somehow? I'm not saying wrestle, but like, then what's the point? Was this the whole point? Was this the whole thing of WrestleMania? Like, what's the point of having this? New Day won the World Tag Team Championships for the 12th or 13th time. Nobody could clarify. Michael Cole said 12. New Day teased it was going to be number 13. I don't know. Who knows? Everybody's all about 14 championships, 15 championships. New Day, uh, the War Raiders slash War Machines. I said this before. This could be so much better. Like, if you would have just talked about you know, the War Raiders passed. You didn't have to bring up War Machine or anything, but they have been one of the best tag teams in the last what 10, 15 years. Like I never even paid attention to indie wrestling much, but even I heard of War Machine because there were these big ass dudes that probably should belong to a biker gang, and they were the road warriors really, without being massive. They fucking kill everybody. I mean, whatever. And New Day is the New Day. Of course, they're not much of the New Day without Big E. And I think even they know that. Like, I mean, I loved the swagger from uh, uh, Xavier Woods. I keep wanting to call him Austin Creed. But I guess in this aspect, you should probably call him Xavier Woods. Um, I loved his swagger. The WWE. You know, even when they were heels when they started, they had that. Were it, that that swagger. I don't even know how to say it better than that. They just had that certain swagger that just worked for them. And Big E was Big E, and yeah, it's a lot different now, and I don't like it. I thought the heel turn, they just didn't pay off their heel turn. Like, what are we doing? What the fuck? So this was a worthless match, and the New Day won, and then they come out on Monday Night Raw and they get well, Otis and Tozawa get the shit kicked out of him by Rusev, a returning Rusev. And that's it. That's is Rusev going to join the tag division? I did like the idea I heard about that's where the fuck is Sheamus, teaming Rusev and Sheamus up. That'd be badass. You know, I don't know. They just could could Sheamus redo the bar, but with Rusev? I mean, I don't know. They've been able to do other tag teams with the same name but different partners. So, I don't know. That'd be too creative of an idea. We'll just have Rusev go after fucking catering, I guess. Look, I love Otis. He's great for what he does, and he's great for why he's there. But is that what we're doing with the Rusev? The same fucking stupid shit. God, I hope they're paying him a lot of money because, like, I don't know. I feel bad for Rusev. When he and Lana first came in, they were cutting these awesome promos, and he looked like a new age, like Iron Sheik type shit, but like Bulgarian slash Russian or whatever they tried to do with him. I mean, the fucker came out on a tank at Wrestlemania. Like, come on, man. Can we not find anything better? The guy's been away for 5 years, has done nothing for like the last 3. God, Can we insert him into like, can we get him to like snap Dominic in half or some shit? All right, moving on. We gotta move. We gotta move. Gotta move. Gotta move. Jade, Cargill, and Naomi. I was hoping that this was gonna end up just being Jade doing kind of like what she did to Naomi at Elimination Chamber and just fucking murder her. Like put her through a fucking table like she did through a car and all just get her comeuppance. Makes Jade look like a star. Naomi is a dirty heel and she got what she fucking deserved. Instead, we just got a match. Just a okay, solid match. I mean, I'm not even going to shit on the match. This was also one of those matches that plodded along for a few minutes and then boom, finish. That's it. And then you're going, is that it? And then out of anything, they didn't do anything with these guys. Probably the best story coming into WrestleMania. And then they didn't even do anything with it, the Raw after Mania. So, I don't know. Who cares? Who gives a shit? As the best of the best would say. Next up, the match that didn't even happen. I made this stuff before SmackDown and did the video before SmackDown. And, well, Rey Mysterio got hurt because we're putting fucking Rey Mysterio out there the night before he wrestles at WrestleMania. Knowing that he's one of the older wrestlers on the fucking roster and one of the main draws for WrestleMania. And a big match for Chad Gable. I was on board with the El Grande Americano shit, but like, I mean, they're treading into the eye rolling waters here. Like, you can't take this fucking thing seriously, and if they're gonna try to make you take this seriously, Jesus Christ. So he takes on Phoenix, Rey Fenix, which turns out to be probably one of the better matches at WrestleMania. Didn't mean anything. Nobody fucking cared, really. I mean, there were no stakes or consequences or anything. It was just Rey Fenix. It was cool to see Rey Fenix at WrestleMania, first and foremost. But the unbelievable thing was, I think, right at the start or beforehand, I didn't pay attention to the fucking 3-hour pre-show. But they just kind of gloss over the fact that, WWE or TKO acquired AAA. I'm sitting there going, what? Like, what? I'm aware of AAA. Like, they're like Triple Mania and all that shit. The fact that they got bought by WWE should have been a way bigger deal than, Michael Cole just like, yeah, we bought a little company that like maybe a couple people know. Like it's the biggest fucking promotion in Mexico. I don't know what that means for like wow, rest in peace Lucha cuz Lucha is not for those that have watched WWE for a long time. Like Rey Mysterio is probably Eddie, Eddie Guerrero. That I'm forgetting Eddie Guerrero, but even Eddie just made the shit work. Like the the lie, the cheat, the steal, the Latino heat thing, like even him coming out in the lowriders and shit. Like if it wasn't Eddie Guerrero, like that shit would look fucking chintzy as hell. You know, like I I think like to me like other than Ray, earning the respect, all that, you know, and making all that shit work, but like you know, like they treated Ray with the most respect for like a true luchador, mask, everything. I grew up. They tried to make Aldo Montoya, which was Al fucking Snow, their lucha star. Like, and I understand Vince McMahon is not involved anymore because he was the fucking worst. That had anything to do with a Japanese wrestler or a Chinese wrestler or basically any foreign wrestler. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But wow. I mean, they even make anybody from, like, if you were a known hardcore specialist or whatever. I mean, look what they did with John Moxley and turned him into Dean Ambrose and kind of really they 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 turn you into what they want you to be, not what you're known for or what's your wheelhouse. You have to work your way through all that, and that's a long road. And even when they let you do that, they put you in a mat. Look at Dean Ambrose. Uh, gets a hardcore match with Brock Lesnar, and that is still one of the worst matches at WrestleMania ever. So yeah, and I'm talking about all that before even this match. This match was fun. It was fun. Didn't last long, and it ended. And Chad Gable won, or not Chad Gable, El Grande. One of the best luchadors ever. Okay. Uh, L.A. Knight and Jacob Fatu. This this hit. Uh, Probably again one of the better matches, but again, this was another match where the ending kind of felt rushed. Fatu won, and it was awesome. The dude's a fucking just a he's just a he gets it in every sense. Like the intensity that he brings, uh he knows his character and what he does in the ring and how that, you know, works. Yeah. Dude knows Dude knows who he is and what he is, and it's awesome to see. It was cool to see that they didn't even make a bigger fucking deal out of it, but Haku come out. You know, they didn't even they barely showed him, you know, you know, at ringside there, giving him a hug. They just glossed over it. No big deal. It's just fucking Haku. Let's not tell everybody why he's there. You know, he's just a bloodline member or whatever. Next up, Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. Uh, Charlotte Flair tried to wear the same shit as Tiffany Stratton did. Chipped Tiffany's tooth. Gave her a nice ass bruise on her forehead. Tiffany came out in a pretty cool entrance. I mean, I'm. Hey, if you have, if you've had little girls in your life, and you're big bearded guy like me, I didn't have a beard then, but you know, 23, 22, 23, 24, 25, 25-year-old me for my niece is standing in a Barbie aisle having no fucking clue what's going on. And it's Christmas time. And this old lady, older lady, I should say old lady, but she looked at me. I just never forget it. She just looked at me and just, because I had no clue and it was all over my face. She's like, first time, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I did pretty good though. I did pretty good for Christmas shopping. Anyway, Tiffany Stratton comes out in these three Barbie boxes, and she's got like video screens in the boxes, and she's in the middle. And it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was like one of the cooler entrances of the whole show, both nights. I thought it was great. Yeah, but I don't do Barbie. Da, 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 da. You just, for you fucking people, just grow the fuck up. They're not here. They're not there for that. Like, if you don't like it, fine. But I see people shitting on it. Like, well, she's gonna be a fucking Barbie fan. Like, everybody can't be fucking Rhea Ripley and have fucking heavy metal music. And she's the hot goth girl. Like, come on. All right, enough said about that. I hope this was better than what I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was going to be a fucking train wreck, and it almost started out like I thought it was going to be, like a fucking shoot, like a literal shoot, real fight happening. It slowed down, and then like it was a fine match, but then this was one of the matches that I felt like the ending was rushed. But then again, like, I would have fully believed that the ending was rushed because, you know, they probably had a lot of handcuffs, and they didn't have a lot of leeway or a leash on this match, because it better be, I could guarantee, like, backstage it's like you do 1, 2, 3 ABC, and you go off for a half of it, and we're cutting it. But I don't think that was the case. But it was good to see. Like, I don't know, maybe it's just one of those things where uh Charlotte's you know Charlotte's just she's got the old carnies in her head, in her ear, and she's old school. She's been brought up the old school way. So maybe her giving her this like tough love type of fucking thing, and roughing her up and rattling her cage to see how Tiffany responds is a way for Tiffany to earn that respect in some crazy fucking old way. There's a lot better ways to do it now, but you know, but I don't know. Tiffany Stratton won, and I think it was good. I think everybody had Charlotte winning, just because that's just what happens. But I think Charlotte fucked up. I think she fucked up big time. I think she I think she overstepped her bounds for a minute and maybe rubbed people the wrong way. Not fans, but uh, the people that put the match together, the higher ups, and shit like that. And that shit has consequences. And it's good to see that bad behavior does not get rewarded, no matter who the fuck you are. She'll end up with the fucking she might beat Tiffany Stratton on SmackDown. Who fucking knows? It'd be the same. We'll get there, but same situation as the full women's tag bullshit. All right, main event for night one. God damn, we're plodding through it. I'm sorry, folks. Main event, night one. This almost, it saved night one and could have saved WrestleMania. It definitely saved WWE on when it comes to the Raw after Mania. Seth Rollins won, in case you didn't know. And not so it was cool to see Paul Heyman turn. Everybody knew it was going to happen because that's what Paul Heyman does. Right? But it was a cool way, like him sliding the chair to CM Punk, then low blowing CM Punk, handing the chair to Roman Reigns, and then you was like, he's gonna turn on him, right? He's gonna turn on him there. But the whole visual of Seth Rollins with his back turned, but he's getting up confident. He's just standing there and he's just got this smile on his face. And then it's Paul Heyman with the nut shot to Roman. Of course, Roman really needs to, he surrounded himself with his own people, and he teamed up with Heyman, knowing who Heyman is. So I don't understand like this whole "you were my dad, but now you're not" thing. Like even CM Punk was like, this has happened before, type of shit, and it is what it is, and he's gonna get his or whatever and all that stuff. But night after Mania, the Raw after Mania, the awesome reveal of Braun Breaker into this new faction with Heyman and Rollins. That was well done. And that might have saved this whole fucking thing. Even the Cena shit. Because, man, going into Raw after Mania, I was like, this is it. You know, WWE is going to just go back to, you know, it's just going to go back to, like, what is all this for and why should I care? And why am I watching? And I think that whole angle just saved Raw, definitely, but may have saved WWE. Depending on where all this shit goes and who they might add. Yeah. Yeah. And the match was fucking excellent. Like this when this happened, all of this, the match, the entrances, uh, Living Color doing Punk, that was cool because I'm a 90s kid. Roman's entrance was awesome. I loved the whole floating screens. I thought they would implement them more, but they lowered them, and it was a really cool montage of the bloodline and his bloodline, and that man, that 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 shot of his dad behind him on the screen and him at the forefront. Oh, that was cool. That was cool. I'm sure his like real family probably bawled. I mean, I kind of got a little choked up because you know that's his dad. He's a huge reason why he's where he is. And yeah, yeah. Night one started the whole Wrestle-MEH-nia, and I thought, all right, we're back on track. Let's get to night two. Let's fucking go. Same thing happened last year. We had a kind of a dud of a night one, but night two really, really hit. So optimism was still there, even in this first match for night two. Rhea, Io, Bianca. Io retained in an awesome finish, awesome match. Everybody delivered. Everybody. It was great. At the end of it, you're going, all right, this is going to be this. Now we're back. We're fucking back. And then the sins. I'm sorry. I have this as a Las Vegas street fight, and it was a Sin City street fight because the S's have to roll together. This was not great. I wish street fights would go back to being street fights instead of just kendo sticks, chairs, and tables, and sometimes stairs, and then table spots. Remember when they used to go all over the fucking stadium or all over the arena, and sometimes out into the street, where it'd become like a real. It would be a street fight. Remember that? Anybody? Like Triple H got made on things like that. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack put Triple H on the fucking map because of that shit. Anybody? Why do we got to do the lesser known stuff? Mocha has entered the chat. Okay, well. I have to wrap it up to put the to bed. Mocha is ready for bed. All right, so yeah, Drew McIntyre won. He even took a selfie with his brother's phone. Cool. Whatever. It was nothing. It ended their feud or whatever and all that jazz. Really didn't do anything. Didn't. I don't know. I got more fired up for this match. Which, again, was great. Turned out great. Even the end. Even the end, to me, kind of felt a little rushed, but the end spot was awesome. Dominic wins. They actually fucking did it. I thought it was fucking great. One of the loudest pops of the night, really. The loudest reaction to anybody, really. And had Dominic so fired up, he went back to the ring one more time for, I don't know, he's just probably the happiest he's ever been. Probably the best he's looked, really, I think, as a wrestler. I don't like you know, how things are still open ended with Finn Balor and Judgment Day. Like, this should have been the end of it. Like, and then Raw should have been like the official split from Finn Balor. Finn Balor moving to the, probably into a feud with the new Judgment Day, but like, I don't know. They're just still, they're still in the same spot that they have been as far as Judgment Day is concerned. So I don't know. I don't know. But then who becomes face and heel? Like, when they split. Like, it doesn't look like Balor is doing anything to, if anybody's going to split and be a babyface, it's fucking Dom. So, yeah. So there's that. Moving on. And then Braun still looks strong. He didn't eat the pin or anything. And he obviously became... He elevated, to where he didn't need the Intercontinental title anymore. Like, he's now in the upper... Not the upper mid card. He's in that upper, the upper tier, not main event, but not mid card. He's been elevated. He's been promoted, at everybody, to the big boy land, and good, because he's the next guy. He just is. You can see it, how he's presented. You can see it in his character. You can see it in him. He is badass. I gotta say, he's fucking badass. So, yeah, this was actually one of the bright spots. I even posted something on Facebook. It happened in all caps, and for whatever reason, people found it and gave me a bunch of likes, like you should hear, and like and subscribe. Uh, yeah, I got a lot of mileage out of just that post. I don't even know why. Like, maybe people like Dom. I don't know. So, moving on, and then we get Randy Orton, who was supposed to do an open challenge, and everybody under the sun thought it was going to be Rusev, that was the big consensus was Rusev makes the most sense just because he's returning. There was a bunch of other. I think Aleister Black was floated, but then it didn't make sense. I mean, there was a lot of people being talked about, and nobody talked about the one fucking guy where if you say his name, he shall appear. Joe fucking Hendry. Now I don't like I've mentioned before. I don't watch a ton of. I don't watch TNA at all. I know who they are. I know I keep uh, up with it with clips and stuff. I don't really even keep up that much. Just when it comes to pay per views and things like that, just to see what happened. But like, wow. And then to come out, and then yeah, he eats the pin, he eats an RKO and stuff. But to be given that spot against Randy Orton in his 20th WrestleMania, and to be given that kind of spotlight, and then the dude just looked like he belonged out there, which is all you can ask for when you throw a guy like that out there. And you saw it at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, give me some more Joe Hendry. I don't care if it's NXT or on the main roster, but like that dude belongs there. There's a lot of guys that look like they don't belong there, and they get pushes, and they have a lot of people on their side and all that shit. Joe Hendry, there's no way a guy like Joe Hendry should be, still be in TNA. And I'm sure even formerly Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth, has probably told him that. I mean, he's probably one of his biggest, biggest supporters. I would assume. I don't know that for certain, but I'm just saying, former WWE guy that knows what it takes to stick in WWE for a long time. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure like guys like, maybe not Triple H, but they've reached out to Nemeth about these particular people like Joe Hendry to get, they're not, they're not of approval or what they think. So, yeah. I liked it. It was good. It was short. It was nothing big. Randy got his match for his 20th. Then he'd come out the next night and RKO Cena, which made everybody happy. So, yeah. Let's get through all this. This is going to take like 10 seconds, guys. Logan Paul beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And that. See, now, way back in the day when AJ Styles was basically still a nobody winning the X division in TNA, I was a huge TNA fan. It was new. There was these different stars that didn't come from yesteryear or other places that you would know. AJ Styles was like a fucking breath of fresh air. Like, this dude would do shit. I loved AJ Styles. I still do. I just wish he wouldn't fade into the fucking background for guys like Logan Paul. I knew it was going to happen. I just knew it because the company loves Logan Paul and they have every reason to, and I just don't like it. I don't like it. How about, I've got an idea. I'll get there in a minute when I talk about the Raw after Mania. But yeah, fuck Logan Paul. AJ Styles forever. That's all I gotta say. Uh, Logan Paul won with his Paul Verizer. The guy just, I think, okay, I'll just say it before. I'm not even gonna really get into Raw that in depth, but I could see Logan Paul. I floated Logan Paul out there as to go with that faction of uh Braun and Rollins with Heyman. That makes a lot of sense because Logan Paul needs a mouthpiece. He needs a heater because he just comes out like, and it's basic heel. I'm pretty boy. I'm better than you. You people suck. That's his whole stick. That's it. I come out here and he's great wrestling, like great, like even uh not particularly with promos, but just uh his charisma and all that shit. He's good. He'll be one of the best in there. Like newsflash, everybody. Uh, some of the best professional wrestlers are not the best people. So, I mean, and a lot of them from yesteryear would, they've said that. But like for Logan Paul, I respect Logan Paul as a wrestler in WWE. I thought it was going to be a waste of fucking time. It was just to appease a millionaire that has his own brand, and WWE wanted him for his audience and bring at least half of that to wrestling. I was wrong. I was wrong. He's really great in the ring, and it's just a matter of time before he gets there and all that shit. He's basically Randy Orton. He'd be the Randy Orton, and Braun Breaker would be. Can we call him? Can we now please call him Braun Steiner? Can we just use the Breaker Braun Steiner? What's wrong with that? Why do we have to do? Nah, never mind. I hate the fucking name. I hate that name. Braun's great, like I've said, but that fucking name, man, Breaker. Why can't that just be a part of his shtick? Like Big Bronson Reed, the Breaker, Braun Steiner. I mean, it's not my fucking problem that, if you do that, Braun Steiner kind of sounds like Braun Strowman. It's not my. You're the one that fucking called him Braun Strowman. Whatever. Everybody just got a Adam. How many Adams does AEW have? Whatever. But yeah, I didn't like it. I probably spent too much time on it. Next, Liv and Raquel against then Bailey and Lyra. Bailey got attacked backstage, and she wasn't gonna make Wrestlemania or make her match. So Lyra had to somehow find a new partner. And everybody knew it was going to be Becky Lynch, which is fine. But here's my problem. I feel bad for Bailey. So bad. Bailey is one of the best that they have. And Bailey has come out and said it with Chris Van Vliet, but she doesn't think she's at Becky or Flair's level, and that's bullshit. She's she is way better. In my opinion, she's a way better wrestler than both of them. Better than Becky. Better than Becky. You want to fight over Flair, fine, but uh, she is definitely better than Becky. And I don't know. I don't. She has been treated so fucked up, like Sasha Banks too. And Sasha was just smart enough that she was just done and out. You know, Bailey's. Bailey's in some respects too nice, and uh, I feel bad for her because she's the workhorse of her division, and I think a lot of us can relate. You know, she's a reason that you know she keeps that division alive and why it's notable. And the company just uses her to get other people over and elevate other people. And it took all the way to even last year to give Bailey her fucking flowers. Then a year later, even though she's been prominent on TV all over the place, you know, from SmackDown to Raw, especially SmackDown, where their division has been lacking. Yeah, I don't. You feel bad. I just feel bad. So Becky Lynch takes her place. Then Raw after Mania, they do the same fucking match. Lyra and Becky win the women's tag titles. Only the next night, less than 24 hours later, Liv and Raquel win them back. And then Becky turns heel. All that. And then to read and hear that, well, because people were pissed about Bailey being taken out and her Wrestlemania getting taken away from her. And, people were pissed. And to come and even hear, even though I don't even find that fucking true, that, the plan was, this was the plan for Bailey all along. Why? Why? And then she's not even legitimately hurt. You do that shit because they might really be hurt or they have an injury and, they don't want to. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. You can't tell me that was the whole fucking plan for Bailey. The WrestleMania plan for Bailey. Bailey. What? No. And then you can see in that interview with Chris Van Vliet, man. Like, even to talk about she has like a year and a half still on her contract, and she's entertaining the thought of leaving. And even if she went to the Indies, she would probably do a billion times better. She'll probably go to AEW, I'm sure. And why not? She'll get a big ass payday out of it at the least. Cuz Tony Khan's a sucker for that. Then she'll sign for a lot of money, and then she'll lose to Mercedes like everybody fucking else. And then they'll just take her off for TV for 2 years. Some shit. I just feel bad for Bailey. If I haven't said that before. Alright. Moving on. To the match of the night. Or the whole The whole goddamn weekend. Who's gonna join? Rock's got to come in. How's this gonna play out? Like the whole thing was, how is this going to play out? Everybody knew that the matches itself was not going to be good. It just wasn't. John Cena can't do it, even as good as he did it like 5 years ago. Like, I, I don't know, guys. In case you haven't heard, John Cena won his 17th championship, broke the record. Awesome. Not the problem. Not the problem. And if you haven't seen, here's where the problem is. And I'm going to tell it from the way that I've been thinking about this. Okay? So bear with me. We're almost done. We're bringing it home. John Cena winning the 17th title and breaking Flair's record in a heel fashion, fine. Fine. The way it ended, Cody Rhodes has spent the last 2 full years overcoming a ton of bullshit and carrying this company. He has taken on the unbeatable Roman Reigns. He ended that fucking streak, that 4-year streak. He took on the Bloodline. He's dismantled the Bloodline. The whole finish the story thing. He's had this whole big character arc. Yes, I was moving my hands trying to go one way to the other. He's had this whole story arc. Only, only for it to end. Not by The Rock, a returning Rock to say, "I got you, fucker. This is what happens if you didn't sell your soul," or whatever the fuck. Which turns out that was just big nothing fucking burger. This is where this is gonna get pissy with me. All the story that Cody Rhodes, it ends and it goes up in a fart and fucking flames. Not by a wrestler, not by a guy that even belongs in this fucking thing. By a fucking Twizzler looking motherfucker in Travis fucking Scott. He helps cost Cody Rhodes, who has climbed a mountain story-wise and overcome shit that he had no... to get beat by John Cena is, to drop the title to Cena to give him 17, that's not the problem. It's how it's done. And The Rock just sipping fucking tequila in Hawaii and just sitting back like, not for me, brother. Just basically to fucking Hogan this shit. I don't know. I'm not on the I'm not on the conspiracy theory train. But somebody floated an idea out there, and I still don't buy it. Because there's this idea that like The Rock is trying to manipulate things to make Triple H look bad. Like for real behind the scenes so they can fire him. Which would be a terrible, terrible mistake. Which I don't think is in play. I don't. Some people think that's happening. There's something going on, though. There's something going on behind the scenes. I don't buy the bullshit excuse of Ari Emanuel, who owns WWE and TKO. You know, he just wanted The Rock to come in for Elimination Chamber to sell, to help struggling ticket sales. That makes no sense. From what I understand, Elimination Chamber wasn't struggling. Uh, wasn't they weren't struggling when the ticket sales were doing just fine for Elimination Chamber when John Cena was announced, and that was way before The Rock got involved. So I don't know. I don't know what the fuck, you know, what the real story is, but even for The Rock to show up on McAfee but not be able to make it to Mania in some way, like even if it's a vignette, something that shows up on the screen or whatever. Like, first of all, he's part of the board I think the board of directors. He's one of the main. He's the final boss, legit final boss at in WWE, or one of them. Like WrestleMania, like we don't have to fucking tell The Rock this. This is your corporate, your corporate get together, your party. This is where you celebrate the company and the year that it's had. Like, I was within the understanding, like, everybody that works there is at WrestleMania. Either as, you get free seats or cheap, you get discounted seats or whatever. But you're involved with all the, you get invited to all the events and all this shit, all that stuff. You would think, especially like the board of directors, one of the main board parts of the, one of that, especially the fucking Rock, that gets what WrestleMania is. Nah, it's not like it's, he's got to fly from Hawaii all the way over, like last year, to Philly. He's just, and he's got the fucking UFO going on. No, he's not busy with that. Not busy with that. Even that would be understandable. Or he's shooting a movie. No, nope, nope. He's just chilling at his house in Hawaii. Okay. I don't like somebody like The Rock. See, and here's the other thing. To counter that conspiracy theory about Triple H is Triple H or whoever, maybe maybe this was not fully in Triple H's control. And this is what The Rock and whoever was involved, maybe this was their baby. And yeah, we're just going to let it completely look like the total fucking shit show that it is. And then we're just going to fix it afterwards. It's what it looked like to me. You do your thing. Okay, we'll do Rock's idea. We'll do that. We'll do exactly that. But I ain't taking the fucking blame for it. If there's anything that I know about, like, uh, probably, not backstage politics, but like office politics or, shit that happens in the workplace type of thing. Uh, I was 20 years old. The first piece of advice I got from a very grizzled old vet was rule number one, especially in the business that I was in, the industry I was in, was cover your ass. So, for all these conspiracy theories about making Triple H look bad and all this shit, I, especially for all the shit that Triple H has been through and how, even Vince tried to take NXT away from him and fuck that up, that they're still trying to recover from. I firmly believe Vince, I don't know what was going on, but like there's something between him and Vince that I don't know. I'm not even going to sit here and speculate and make up stupid, dumb shit. But anyway, all that shit and, being married to the boss's daughter and dating the boss, slate, folks. Dating the boss's daughter, all that bullshit that he had to go through, all that, like that I was dumb enough to listen to during his Hall of Fame speech till 4:30 in the fucking morning. Oi. All that shit that he had to go through, he knows how to cover his ass. So whatever happened here in this main event and for the the fucking shit show, the dog shit ending that it was. It actually really wasn't a terrible match. It wasn't anything great or spectacular. Like if you remember the old Ultimate Warrior Hogan, even Macho Man and Hogan, basically any Hulk Hogan match, that was basically it. It wasn't like, Osprey versus Omega. It was the exact opposite. Uh but the dog shit ending with the Travis Scott and yeah, that about ruined. That ruined wrestling for me. About then the next night, and I like Cena's all black and white, no fancy full color, all the colors dancing in the background, the cartoon fucking shit. It's just John Cena. White type, black background. That I can get into. Like, even that subtle change right there makes him more of a heel than what he was walking into Mania. So we'll see. The oh fuck or the oh shit thing with the RKO, that was I could do without. But Randy Orton and John Cena, I thought about this though. There's probably like a whole generation. There's a 10-year-old out there that hasn't seen this happen. Like my nephew, he's 10. He's he knows of John Cena, but he doesn't. You know, for those of us that you know uh, watched John Cena and Randy Orton about 35,000 times, uh, there's a bunch of kids that know John Cena and was like are like, oh my. So, and we all know that this is gonna happen, and this is a good time for it to happen, honestly, because or Cena's gonna win. LOL, just like before. LOL, Cena wins, and it's a good time to do it. Like Orton's Orton's more over now than he ever has. Um, and it's only a matter of time before Orton turns back to a heel. So now's the time to do it. You're gonna get Punk and Cena at some point. Probably. I mean, SummerSlam's good time as any for that one. How this all ends, I don't know. But I mean, we'll watch because we're a bunch of fucking idiots. Or I say, as I started this, we're just a bunch of fucking marks. But yeah, that was that was WrestleMania, Wrestle-MEH-nia, and that's my thoughts, guys. I have went way too far, and this will probably get like 0 watches. So, but I had to do it because everybody else is doing it. So, uh, yeah, I'm glad the Raw after Mania, and the Heyman Rollins Braun stuff has got me back on board, at least for that part. Um, it's really hard to get into wrestling right now. I am fucking burnout. Like I don't give two shits about AEW at this point. Um, but I'll be here to, if something happens there, I'll give my thoughts on it. I'm not going to do raw reviews unless something major happens and there's something to talk about, and I'll include them with my other videos. But obviously, this is about 2 hours long because there's 100 matches that really didn't mean much of anything other than the Rollins, Punk, and Reigns stuff. Cody's supposed to take some much deserved time off. And that'd be good for him because right now he looks like the biggest fucking doofus that ever stepped in the ring. Like the whole the tug of war with the belt, and after the Travis Scott shit and the tug of war. Oh my god, guys. And then the most generic 80s fucking thing that I have seen in a long time. Cena just, Cody, didn't mean it. Don't hit me. Which then Cody deserves what he fucking gets. It gets kicked in the dick and loses the title. That part I agree with because you're that fucking stupid. Yeah, Cody's gonna need some character rehab after that one because he looks like a fucking idiot. All right, guys. That'll do it for this guy. I have another video to do, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Believelandia, subscribe, please. If you've made it this goddamn far, which probably wouldn't. If you've made it this far, thank you. If you've watched, even if you watch, thank you. I'm desperately trying to be more consistent. But it's hard to find some time, especially lately. There's things going on, and there's stuff that goes on during the day, and life. So, I'm trying to be more consistent, and I'm trying to do this stuff in less time. Probably the Wrestlemania post shit probably isn't probably a good place to start. Yeah. Again, even if it's one person, two people, 10, you know, least you could do is give me a like. That helps. I mean, I know everybody. It's not something that you're supposed, it's not like you sign up to be a YouTuber and you get this whole thing like this is what you need to plug, and that this is just you hit record, and that's it. That's it. And it's good luck. And if you get to this amount of views or watch hours, then we'll consider monetizing you. That's not even what I'm here for, really. I'm just here to bullshit and talk wrestling and sports and give you like a realist take. I'm not trying to make yourself feel better or more positive. I try to put a positive stuff on because that's just like who I am. But if it's dog shit, like this fucking entity, I'm gonna say it's dog shit, and the people that put it together should be fired. Things like that. Yeah. I just again, I appreciate the people that watch, even if it's one of you, five of you, doesn't matter. I'm fully appreciative. And you can just hit that like button. And you don't have to, subscribe. I mean, it'd be really cool if you would, but like, if you stop by to watch the video, the least you could do is try to help me out and get me a like. That helps. That helps me in the algorithm, I guess. It just kind of like I don't know, bumps me up into what other people might see in related videos, I guess. I don't know. Don't follow me for, YouTube. You get more views if you do this, and this, which, by the way, doesn't fucking work. So, but they get like 100,000 views because you know they must watch wrestling and know how carny shit works. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I've wasted way too much time talking about all this. Wrestle-MEH-nia. Subscribe, like, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, whatever floats your boat. There isn't something on there. You can catch me in those spaces. And here. Mostly here. This is where this is my focus. But I'm kind of having fun on Facebook, actually. I'm doing mock drafts right now and scaring the shit out of Browns fans everywhere. So that's fun. All right, guys. Again, for you wrestling fans, I'm going to probably just implement a little bit into like my other full videos because obviously I can't do this shit in 30 minutes. God bless the guys that can, or maybe they're just editing machines. Um, so on that note, all right, I'm done wasting everybody's time. Again, wrestling fans, you can still catch me. I'm still gonna do, wrestling talk if there's something to talk about. But, I just wanted to do these bigger videos because of, Wrestle-MEH-nia turned into Wrestle-MEH-nia and things like that. So until then, please still watch the stuff. I'll still include wrestling, but we're going to take a big step back. So until then, until the next one, I don't know when that'll be. You guys take care of yourselves and each other. Till the next, guys. Peace.
Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back. What's my purpose? What do I grab? A slippery surface, a heart attack. And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need. What you need. We're broken, it's tragic.